you gotta, when they're here, cultivate their love for the university. So like a person like me, when my career finished up too soon, I was able to come back here and get assistance to get my master's.
Right.
I was able to come back and get assistance with doing the book signing at the bookstore. There's things, especially now that these brands want to work with athletes directly. Say an athlete's career just doesn't go the way they want. They don't know where to go. They have this relationship with a brand that they potentially can say, "Hey, are you hiring? Is there a way that can you lead me to, give me an
Good point.
opportunity?" So,
Good point.
I think that's super important. And I'm gonna talk a bit about that. And I took, I'm not a big notes guy, but I'll put down a few things.
Right.
Um, so this is the coolest, and I thought about this, Terry. When I had my podcast some years back, I had a team manager on the podcast, and I was like, people see managers, the guy that comes on the court, he just like rubs the court real, get the sweat off.
Yeah.
And I said, how do you define to this guy what managers do? He said simply this: we do everything that helps the players to play and the coaches to coach.
Okay.
And Steve McLean was like, athletes have no idea all the stuff that goes behind the scenes of giving them their opportunities and school and tutors, et cetera. And these sponsors
Yeah.
provide to with their donations and et cetera for athletes to be athletes to play and for
Right.
coaches to coach. And I'm like, huh,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
A lot about. I think we were talking yesterday. I think on this show somehow we talked about 5 minutes about in our this little silly profession of sports broadcasting, radio, TV. This is the easy part.
This is
What
the
we're
easy
doing
part.
right now, we would be the players
Yeah.
in the game, the behind the scenes folks. That's the backbone. That
Dude,
gets it done, right?
that
I
part,
mean,
but also the work that people see. You can see on the top right of the screen the sponsorships. That sometimes that takes time. That takes diligence and consider. Like it's cool. Hopefully, we're gonna get to a point where we have too many.
yeah, sure.
but but
Hope so.
yeah,
Sponsors
yeah.
out there, we hope so. There's the Twitter. You can tweet me or X me and X Patrick
tweet
right there at the bottom.
tweet us and we will
Do we
get to
say
you and
tweet
we will.
anymore? No, we say X. I guess now they X us. X
No,
Twitter.
I think it
Still
makes sense
tweet.
to still say tweet.
Still a
Yeah,
tweet. Okay, tweet
post,
me. Tweet, 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 tweet.
comment.
Post, comment. Let me ask you this: Is you're in Gainesville in the Exact Check Arena? A
It
big
was a
marketing.
monsoon. It was a
Really?
monsoon getting up here. Oh my God.
Number one is the legendary Freddie Weeby around. When you say
Yep.
marketing, Freddie Weeby's
He's
got to
on
be there.
he's on stage right now, actually.
Please tell him I said hi. Number one. Number two, have you bumped into any other current or former Gator coaches, players messing around? I know it's kind of a weird time, summertime.
How
But
about this? How about this, Terry? Leanne Wong
how about that? I just saw
is
her at
here.
the
Yep.
Nationals,
The one and only Leanne.
and
She
she's
looks
heading
like a
to.
child.
She needs to be in Paris. Tell her to get to Paris.
She looks like a child. She's
Tiny,
so
tiny little
tiny.
gymnast.
She's so tiny. And just her face looks like she's like 14, but she's like 21. I don't
Was
even
she
know.
flipping around anywhere? Did she flip
No,
someone? No.
no, they got her on stage, and it's really cool talking about
Wow.
just her brand and how she can,
Wow.
using her influence to help other brands, and it's cool. It's
I mean,
cool
you're
to
going
see
to see
her.
her on the Olympics in a couple weeks, for God's
And
sakes.
check this, Terry.
That's pretty cool.
37 Olympians are current or former Gator athletes.
Unbelievable. I saw that number earlier. Unbelievable.
I
Un.
don't I don't know if there's any other university that can brag on that, but
Whew.
to us pro American people that we're all going to be lining up for in the Olympics, you're cheering for some Gators.
Yeah.
So just letting y'all know that.
Yeah. Patrick, we got a lot of topics. You're going to have to dip out with your speaking engagement here in a little bit and just let us know. We got a bunch of topics. And I'm going to throw one out. It was just a kind of a statement. And it's WNBA, and with your background, and obviously you've followed what the WNBA is, where it's trying to go. My statement question, and anybody that wants to chat with us, feel free to drop chats on any of our topics, and we'll try and get to
Yes,
those.
I can't even lie. Please, people, if you're listening, I would absolutely love your take on the WNBA.
Yeah,
I would.
here's the overall thought, and I'm not anti, I'm just throwing it out there. With all of the free, and I'm going to say it again, and you know what I'm talking about. With all of the free / forced coverage, and you can't lie, there's been a ton of free.
Yeah.
The ESPN has shoved the WNBA. Obviously, they want to benefit on the back end, but with all of the free / forced coverage that the NBA WNBA has received, Patrick, is the WNBA growing or are they wasting it? I mean, if you took all of the free, shove it down your throat marketing, minutes, dollars, and put it on another sport, are they growing or are they wasting it, Patrick? I don't know. What's the answer?
Oh
My God,
man,
they get a
that's
lot
such a
of
good
freebies.
question because it's like, dude, at a certain point, the whole race baiting stuff, it just gets exhausting. And I think it's not a strong enough thing to keep the regular standard sports fan or even intrigue somebody that's wanting to get into the sports field that strong enough to keep them engaged. And,
Yeah,
there's just been so much of that these words that don't even make sense. Caitlin Clark has pretty privilege, and
yeah,
don't get me wrong,
yeah,
like Angel Reese is great. I think she does make it really hard sometimes with the way she carries herself to be as marketable as someone like I would say Caitlin Clark's pretty vanilla at times. Like she's
yeah,
really I
yeah.
almost wish she had a little bit more personality, and then Angel Reese is just on it. But power to each of these women to be their own selves. But it's almost like they have a chance, like the opportunity is there before them to go and get it, to grow. But there is just a ball and chain attached to that foot that doesn't allow this league
Yeah.
to grow in the way that it wants to. So is it wasting away? It's growing, absolutely. Like women's basketball has been talked about more this year than ever. Um,
But is it
more than
is it
ever.
the exponential level of growth with the free stuff that they've
Right,
gotten marketing wise? If you put
right,
that on, and I'm not anti WNBA, I'm not pro. It's not my sport. I'm not. I feel the same way about soccer. But if you put all of those hours of free marketing and shoved down your throat, would soccer have grown more?
yeah.
Would college baseball have grown more? Would lacrosse have grown more? I sit here and go, if not now, when? How much more free shoved down your throat before even ESPN goes, man, maybe it's just not going to work. Maybe it's
Well,
not going
yeah,
to
that's a great
work.
point. Well, this is the thing, Terry. I think for the league that wants to grow, I don't know if they have kind of thought with the end in mind. And what I mean the end in mind, like thinking, what do we want our league to look like? What do we want our league to emanate and our character values and how we're going to bring this next generation?
Yeah.
Because you need young girls like, we can complain, why do they keep making the same old superhero movies? And I'm tired of Batman. Because the new younger generation hasn't seen it. In order,
Yeah.
like they can't, if Michael Keaton was still Batman, you'd be like, what the heck, why is it, who's this old guy? There's no way he's Bruce Wayne. And I say that because I just don't know if the WNBA is cultivating an environment enough that's going to keep young girls attract. Like I do love you get to see these girls walk down. They're going into the hallways. They got these amazing outfits on. These amazing outfits on. I think that's something that will be appealing to girls. But then you see the product on the court and just how,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then after outside of the court, in terms of post game media and just and I don't want any of these athletes to ever be fake and not be themselves. But you know, there is and I hate this word, politically correct.
Sure.
But I think to an extent, these girls got to fake it to make it to for this league
Maybe.
to
Maybe.
get to where I really want this league, the WNBA league, to be at a place where it's not losing
Yeah.
money, it's making
Yeah.
money, it's viewership is up. There's people that are actually, really into the sport. Um, but that's, the league has to make a decision on how. I don't care how it gets done,
Yeah.
Terry,
And Patrick,
just for it
you've
to
heard
get
my
done.
stance for a year now, and I'm not anti women's sports. I mean, my daughter was a competitive cheerleader all the way through high school. I loved it. I had an athletic daughter. There's one overlying factor that women's sports will have to overcome, or they'll never make it. Right now, women don't watch women's sports.
Yep.
Women, you can't throw women's sports out and say men carry it
Yeah.
until we get to the point, and I don't know if we ever will, when it's a random Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the workplace. And you know what I mean by this? Around the water cooler, a couple of women have got to be talking about women's sports, right?
Terry,
until women watch, women sports are going to struggle. What do you got going on?
Terry.
Somebody's picking at you in the background.
No. Nobody's picking at me. I think this is so funny. Just the other day, I was on social media, and because I am 100% in alignment with you there. Women want the end goal, the success, without being real. There's more women than men in our country. So, just for one thing to point out, that's just a fact. But there was an instance where a young lady, she's getting married, and she's like viewing herself as property to her parents, that her parents have her as property. And because she doesn't want to be handed off like a piece of property, she doesn't want her father to walk her down the aisle. Dad's paying for the wedding, Terry. Dad is paying for the wedding. Dad says, if you don't want me and you want to be independent, we've never treated you like property. You are our daughter. We love you. But if this is the way you feel, you want to be independent, you can pay for your own wedding.
Oh my. Oh my.
If right.
Oh my.
And I know that's an extreme analogy there, but I just see so many parallels there that
You
you
just
can't.
want,
You're shooting yourself in the foot
and we got
because
we got off on this topic, but I threw it out there and just was wondering, like, track and field in Europe is monstrous. It's not so big here. Our stars
4 minutes.
leave our 4 minutes. Our stars leave college and leave the Olympics and go to Europe to make a lot of money. What if we had smashed all this free coverage and free marketing into track and field? Could we did it? You picked the sport. It just makes me wonder. It just
Man,
has made me wonder. Tell you the other thing, and I know
those,
you need to go,
those track
Patrick.
those track and field athletes, they are pretty. Those
Yes,
girls are
yes,
very
they are.
pretty.
Yes, they are. The other thing is the WNBA with the Caitlin Clark thing. They're in a real tenuous situation. It's almost like if you're a marketing company and you have one big ass client. Yes, we've landed the big fish. And that is our marketing company, man. This takes up all of our resources. We are the marketing company for big old XYZ. That's good and that's bad. Because the minute XYZ goes away, all you had was XYZ.
Exactly.
You got to be careful.
Exactly.
All they've got, if Caitlin
Exactly.
Clark said, I'm going to go just be a movie star, I don't
If
think you
she
can
if she
create something quick enough.
if she said I'm going to go to the big three and take on that
The big
offer
three
that
and take
Ice
that money
Cube
they
did,
offered. Yep. Right now, the WNBA is going to be real careful because it's hard to
I
call
mean,
up Hollywood casting and say, hey, we need the next big story. I mean,
could you
Caitlin
just
Clark has got
imagine?
the WNBA by the, what?
And but the thing is, she's so humble. Like
Yeah.
she's glad that
Yeah.
she doesn't think it's all about her, but she's gonna use it in a way like she's trying to maximize the platform and
Yeah.
do things the right way. And I think because she's trying to do things the right way, and she's so kind of vanilla, I guess you would
Yeah.
say. I mean, just when you're great, Terry,
What if Kate, I mean,
when you're
Patrick, I
great,
know you need to go.
when you're as great as someone like you, Terry,
It
you
ain't
just
easy.
get crit you
It
just
ain't
get
easy being
criticism
me.
for no reason. Just
Yes, you do. But
but yeah, man.
and we'll let you go, Patrick. But if Caitlin Clark right now, and I know the WNBA smart people, they know this. You gotta be careful. You got one big fish right now. If Caitlin Clark woke up tomorrow and said, "You know what? I've had a great basketball career. It's been fun. I now have hit a level where I can be an endorser. I can make a lot of money. I want to have babies. I want to go get married and have babies. I'm not playing." The WNBA would be scrambling because they don't have another story. They don't have another story at all. They would be scrambling. Wow, Patrick, I didn't know we'd get off on the WNBA, but it's good
I
talk.
know, right? It's a
Good
good
talk.
talk. It's a great.
So you're heading off to go speak. Tell everybody we said hi. Promote the show.
I will. I
we're
will.
4 to 6 happy
I
hour, brand
will.
new show. All right, buddy. I know you're busy. Thank you so much for checking in.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it. That is our co-host here, of course, Patrick Young. He's with us every weekday. Again, we got a lot of new people tuning in. We want to say welcome to the show. And give you kind of a rundown. We're here every weekday now, 4 to 6, happy hour show. First week, this is day number 2 of week number 1. We are in studio, just kind of working out the kinks and getting everything set. We will be on the road a lot. That's kind of what we do. We take our show out to the people. We have wonderful sponsors, including Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. You'll hear from Dr. Aaron Bates tomorrow. We do that every Wednesday, Talk Sports Medicine. And then, of course, our location sponsors every starting next week. Every Wednesday, we're at Twin Peaks. Every Thursday, we're down at Neptune Beach at Sliders Oyster Bar. And every Friday, Bricks Jack's Beach. We hope to have a Monday and Tuesday location soon. If you're interested, reach out. But we take it to the people. We're out there with you folks starting next week. Thanks for hooking up with us here. One segment down, got a long way to go. We hope to hear from Brent Beard talking some college football and basketball. Boy, Brent is dialed in, our college sports analyst. He'll join us in a little bit. We've got a lot of topics, including a lot of Florida State talk on the other side. When do the Noles drop the hammer on the ACC? It's coming. We're not sure when. We'll come back after this quick timeout on the Young and Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2. See that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage.
I was tempted.
It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor,
I was certain.
the meat, the love, the community. Our community.
Take you and you will be mine.
Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
All righty, let's get our show back on the air here and talk some college sports. teased it a little bit a moment ago. Brent Beard, who has really helped us out, and I've worked with Brent for a very, very long time. One of the best, if not best, college sports analysts going. Brent appears on numerous radio and television shows all over the Southeast. And actually, Brent, as we see Mr. Brent Beard there, I think you're national. I think you've outgrown the South. I think you've even popped up on shows outside the Mason-Dixon line. Isn't that right?
Well, yes, that is true. I've been in Hawaii and Las Vegas and California and a few others. But look, you and I need to savor this moment that the two old dogs here have actually figured out how they can actually get on the screen at the same time and be able to talk to each other.
And Patrick Young was on, and man, it's amazing. It's amazing. I tell you,
it is.
I'm to the point where it was only up until about a day or two ago. I wasn't sure this whole internet thing was going to work, and just I thought it was a fad. No, this internet thing and all this streaming, it's going to be around. I kid because but we're in it. We're in it. We're on it, and we're doing it. Hey, buddy, you and I haven't visited. We've been obviously transitioning the show here. And we're in studio, and a lot has been going on with the holiday weekend and things like that. Boy, we got a lot to catch up with. By the way, if you are, however you're consuming us right now, whatever platform, if you've got a chat section on that platform, feel free to drop us a chat. Brent, I'm going to try and keep you a long time. I don't know what you got going. I think you got something at the top of the hour, but I'm going to try and keep you here. And if you've got a chat, a question, a thought for Mr. Brent Beard, myself, or either of us, feel free to chat us up, and we'll try and cover those. Brent, a lot going on, including we're less than a week away from SEC Media Days. A unique location, and I think the SEC did really smart by moving Media Days to a non-traditional city. Talk about next Monday, what kicks off and where?
Next Monday is going to be for the first time in Dallas, Texas. And obviously that is going to be a celebration of Texas and Oklahoma entering the conference. The SEC media has never dealt with the Texas media before, and that is going to be fascinating for them along that line. Now, I did find this out today in the hope that we'd be on together, but my understanding is the media days next year is returning to Atlanta in the College Football Hall of Fame, and the year after that, Terry, it's going to be in Nashville.
I want to hear it in Jacksonville.
Well, it's funny you said that, and I'm not saying this is going to happen.
I love Nashville, by the way.
Look, yes, and it was really nice in Nashville last year. I can tell you that. Terry, with the refurbishing of the stadium, I've talked to several people about this. And look, they're not necessarily decision makers, but it is logical, is it not, that we could get media days here in this new facility at some point, I don't know, pal, what, next 5 years, 10 years, or something like that, even if it's just a one-shot deal. I think that this town, that is something that you and I have talked about, that we need to go after things like that with this new stadium being rebuilt, refurnished, redone. Yeah. I think it's a natural, don't you?
I mean, think about it. When the new stadium, the mega stadium, gets done in 2 or 3 years, what a great way if it gets. And I think Jacksonville throws their hat in the ring to get in the loop for the playoff, for the college football playoff.
Absolutely.
When you have the mega stadium, you've got a 10-year run where you're still considered a mega stadium. And they outgrow themselves, right? And they get old. But no, Jacksonville, I think, throws its hat in the ring and shoots for the stars. If they were to get in the rotation, what better way to show off the stadium than have the SEC Media Days mid-July of that year before Jacksonville hosts one game or a round of games? And I think you're dead on. But what a smart move putting it in Dallas this year with Oklahoma and certainly Texas moving in. It just makes them feel at home a little bit. It's a tough trip. I know that's Birmingham is very doable. Atlanta was very doable. Nashville, well, that's a haul out there. You got to fly. You got to spend some money to get out there. But they'll put on a great show. The list of players came out that are going to accompany their coaches, and we've got kind of the list of what days who's showing up when. It looks like, if I've got the notes right, Georgia will be Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Florida will be Wednesday. And, of course, Georgia, if you've got the players, Georgia is bringing Carson Beck, I'm assuming.
Right.
And I don't know if you've got the other players. In Florida, obviously, is bringing Graham Mertz and Shamar James. Go over the Florida and Georgia players that will accompany the head coaches.
Yeah, I'll be glad to do that. And again, we need to remind folks, Terry, the SEC is the only league that does 4 days.
Yeah.
Now, listen, and we'll get into this later. When these conferences, and I'm just telling you, it's coming, and you and I have discussed this now for months. When these conferences, Terry, get up to around 20 teams, that's going to be fascinating to see how they do media days. But because you're in the situation, if you've got four days now, and you've got 16 teams, when they get near 20, Terry, they're going to at least have to go 5, right? I mean, logically,
and
in order to get them in.
And Brent, they already start early in the morning. I mean, those first coaches show up, and if unless you've been there, I don't even think TV gives you the enormity of just how big the SEC media days are.
Right.
And you hear the term Radio Row around Super Bowl week. There's Radio Row at the media days. There's now TV and streaming row.
Yes.
Then there's a whole world of network boys.
Correct.
And they get everything they want. And all. It is a absolute monstrosity that kicks it off. Mention, though, the Gator players and the Georgia players that are going to show up. Florida on Georgia on Tuesday and Florida on Wednesday of next week.
Yeah, Carson Beck, as you mentioned, Mikael Williams, a defensive lineman who is a junior for Georgia, Malachi Starks, who you and I've talked about, Terry, is easily one of the best defensive backs in the SEC and also in the nation.
God, he's been there forever, hasn't he?
Yes, that's a strong 3. And look, people are going to realize if they haven't heard Graham Mertz, and he is the quarterback at Florida, they're going to be very impressed with what they hear out of Graham Mertz. Shamir James, the inside linebacker, is going to be there, and also Montrell Johnson is going to be there. Now, I'm just throwing this out for guesswork. What would have been fascinating would have been, now, Terry, what if Georgia would have had ETN?
Wouldn't that have been great if ETN came as
the running back that transferred from Florida? Now, you know, Kirby, he would have liked to have given Florida a little jab by doing that, but they decided not to do it.
A little jab is right. And if we have time, and I'm going to keep you a long time, remind me to talk about the little jab I noticed, speaking of jabs, in the ACC, but we'll get to that. We've talked about Georgia. We've talked about Carson Beck. This isn't Carson Beck's fault, and I don't know why it is, but my God, Carson Beck might be the number 1 pick in the draft.
That's right. Yes.
He might be the number 1 pick in the draft with another national title, and my God, he flies under the radar in terms of publicity. And
yes.
Or I'm just imagining that. He's just under the radar. I mean, when you talk college football guys, and, you know, Quinn Ewers is coming from Texas, and all these other stars. And why is that? Is that just his nature? He may be the number 1 pick in the damn draft.
He's a guy who's come along slowly, but he has matured. He has progressed. And his numbers really are able to show it now. And look, Georgia's going to be number 1, and the media always picks who's going to win. To me, the fascinating thing is who's going to be 2, 3, and 4, because that very well may be who is in the playoffs with the expanded playoffs with this too.
Yeah.
Now I know you well enough to know, and you and I think alike on a lot of things. We've always said together they need to bring every quarterback regardless.
Yeah.
But they have not do it. Nico Lomaliva is not with the Tennessee group. You probably noticed that.
Yeah.
South Carolina is still trying to kind of figure that out too. Look, Cooper Mays, the center, Keenan Pilley, the linebacker, Mari Thomas, defensive linemen are good. But are you like me? Wouldn't you like to have seen Nico in front of the media just to see how he would have done? That's parted Listen, Terry, that's part of the job, is it not?
Well, and it's still the old guard says, well, this is supposed to be a reward for the upperclassmen, right?
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
not long. It wasn't that long ago that every school would bring their 3 players and they'd all be seniors. They would all be seniors as kind of reward. Well, the landscape has changed. I mean, if you wait on seniors, then you don't get super third year guys that are leaving. And
Right.
So Nico, the quarterback at Tennessee that we think is going to be a star, he's a sophomore, right? And that underclassman thing is still in there, but that's going to come down. That's going to come down, and it's going to come down as soon as there'll be a time. What do you got to be 3 years out of high school to be draft eligible now? Is that college football? There'll be a time when that gets knocked down, and you'll start seeing some freshmen and some sophomores, popping up.
Well, I think what's also going to be interesting is, and it's coming, in that room, what we call the print room with all the writers in there, how's Billy Napier going to deal with the media and every other question about, Coach, how much pressure do you feel to win this year with an incredibly hard schedule?
Well, if he's smart, and I think he is, and I think the Florida people are smart, you are prepping him for that. Right. And not to sound robotic, but Napier needs to have 3 or 4 pat answers that are tap dancing. He's Gregory Hines with his tap shoes on dancing, but he's got to be ready. The last thing he needs is to get up there and bumble and stumble. He's got to know that question's coming, and it's going to hit him in every little step he goes. Radio, TV, print, streaming is going to hit him. So he needs to have a good, solid, and he needs to say nothing but say it with conviction, right? About the hot seat.
And look, and Sam Pittman's going to be worse in Arkansas. I mean, you've got a guy who everybody likes, but he's back after a difficult year. And I know we won't spend a lot of time on Arkansas here, but I mean, that's part of this conversation with the media. And Terry, you can't escape this stuff. You mentioned all the platform. Look, this is a lot different than what it used to be when I started, and you started back in the 90s. You had print, you had TV, and you had radio, and that was it.
Yeah.
But now you have got every imaginable streaming service and website that you can take a swing at this point. So you're talking to everybody. And as you said a minute ago, you've got to be primed and ready to go with your message because this is a great way to get it out to everybody.
Yeah, and if Napier was to get up there and bumble and stumble, I think some of Gator Nation would go, wait a minute, what did he do in the offseason? I mean, he's got to know and understand and talk to people that, he's got media people at Florida.
Yeah,
he's got,
sure.
And if he doesn't look prepared next Wednesday, then a lot of Gator Nation is going to go, I don't have any confidence that he worked on his game. Because Billy Napier, the first thing that Florida football has to have, the first person in and around the Florida football program that has to improve their performance is Billy Napier. And if Billy Napier is a bumbling, stumbling guy next Wednesday, that would lead a lot of Gator Nation to go, has this guy worked on his game? Has he done some self-evaluation? Has he talked to some mentors? Has he discussed game management and timeouts and the feel of when and when not to run a trick play? I mean, Napier struggled game management and has for 2 years.
And Terry, to me, here's the biggest question he's going to answer. It's going to be something like this. Coach, in the offseason, a lot of people thought that you should bring in an offensive coordinator and a special teams coordinator. So what have you done in the offseason to fill those capacities? And you've got a lot of, I mean, you've even got Gator beat writers who are questioning where they've gone with this, Terry. Do you feel that's the number one question he has to answer like I do?
I would think. And, he'll come back and say, hey, I've added experience. Is it Ron Roberts? And which I like that move. I think Napier, I think Ron Roberts been around. He's been through the wars. He's mid to late 50s.
Yeah.
So he's a decade-ish older. He's 10 years older. But I do think that I liked that move. I really like that
I do
move because
too.
I think
I agree.
Napier needs a grizzled veteran that they've had many a beer on the back patio with pad and pencil out, and
Yeah,
talked about game
right.
situation and trick plays and timeouts and no timeouts and stuff. But yeah, he's going to get that. I want to go back real quick, and we won't spend much time. You mentioned Sam Pittman. Can't you hear some of the smart aleck media people? Coach Pittman, you're really struggling. The record's not what it is. There's talk about your job. Are you using today as a way to throw out some offensive line feelers? Because he's a great offensive line coach. Anybody in the nation,
He is. Yeah.
Coach, are you handing out resumes just in case things don't go well? Because Sam Pittman, the minute he gets fired at Arkansas, if he does soon, he will be inundated with job offers. He might be the best offensive line coach in the country.
Well, see, the other Sam Pittman question is going to be, and I don't know if anybody is going to be, what's the word I want to use? Courageous enough to ask it is something the fact, I can tell you what, it's going to be in the whole talk. But Coach, you brought in Bobby Petrino to run the offense. Terry, fill in the blank there for what I'm trying to ask. Okay?
Is there I think there's kind of a Julius Caesar kind of thing and stabbing in the back, and you might have brought in your successor kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, Brent, I want to keep you as another segment if I can.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff to talk about on the other side, including let's get to FSU and the ACC and things like that.
Right.
Well, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and so we can have some extra time. We kind of went a little long. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to keep Brent Beard around, the wonderful college sports analyst that joins us here, and Brent will be a part of this show as we go here on streaming. That and a whole lot more. If you've got a question or thought for Brent, feel free on your platform. You should be able to hit the chat section, and we should see it. We'll be glad to forward some of those questions and comments Brent's way as we go. We're coming right back talking college ball with Brent Beard on the other side.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage.
I was tempted.
It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor,
I was sad.
the meat, the love, the community. Our
To
community.
change you and you will be mine.
Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
You better watch it, Brent Beard, as we welcome you back to the Young and Norvelle Show. Brent Beard, our guest. Patrick was on earlier today. Patrick is in Gainesville speaking to a group of Gators in the marketing world. I don't know if you heard that interview with Patrick, who was on. He's talking to smart rich people. I hope he brings back some money for all of us.
Absolutely.
Smart rich people. So, Patrick, Brent Beard, we're going to keep you here to the top of the hour, and then I may bust up that. I think you're getting on with some Memphis radio station.
I am,
But
yes.
I may bust that thing up, by the way. I appreciate you sitting here. By the way, to catch people up to see our show rundown that I try and send out, we wanted to talk some Major League Baseball with Cade Kistar, our buddy, who is the MLB publisher for Sports Illustrated. Cade was all scheduled to come on today, and then obviously the All-Star game is next week. But Cade lives in Texas right now. He's going to move back here soon, it looks like. But, well, he got caught up in that hurricane, and his service has been very spotty. So we're going to do a double dip of Brent Beard. How about that? Double dip of Brent Beard. Double your pay, too, Brent. Double your pay. Double zero.
All the water I can drink, too, right?
All
Terry?
the free water you can drink. Stay with the SEC real quick. SEC Media Days next week, and then the following week, the ACC. Brent, a couple of guys coaching in the SEC, they bring to mind you really shouldn't speak in absolutes very often. And a lot of people spoke in absolutes about Lane Kiffin. Oh, he can't coach. You know, this was 10, 12, 15 years. He got fired on the tarmac. Blah, blah, blah. Look what he did in the NFL. That was a long time ago, number one. He'll never do anything. Lane Kiffin's a pretty damn good coach.
He is.
And people say, well, what has he won? Well, nobody wins at Ole Miss. Nobody, and very few people have ever won to the level he's won at Ole Miss. Nobody wins championships at Ole Miss. So put that aside. Another guy that was spoken about in absolutes, erroneously, looks like Steve Sarkisian.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys were written off by a lot of people. These two guys can coach.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're going to be fun both together, kind of the same guy, together in Dallas at Media Days.
The thing about both these guys is, number one, they've climbed the ladder to where they're making a whole lot of money. People can make fun of Lane Kiffin all they want to. Lane Kiffin's near $10 million, Terry.
And can coach football. Like him or not, like his personality or not, he can move the football.
And both he and Sark are two of the best play callers on the planet.
Totally agree.
And that's why they've got the job that they do. And look, as far as going out on a limb, you and I have discussed this before. Both of us believe Ole Miss has got a real shot at going to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Look, Ole Miss is never going to get into a 14 playoff. But can they get into a 12-team playoff? Absolutely they can. And Terry and I have gone over their schedule. They've got a very easy first 4 or 5 games, and then they can go from there. But my stars, you've got Jackson Dart, who's going to be one of the better quarterbacks. You've got Quinn Ewers, who's going to be one of the better quarterbacks. Terry, would it surprise you at all with the two guys you've mentioned that people basically ridiculed, both of them this year could be in the playoffs?
Imagine Ole Miss has the year a lot of people think they're going to have. They did a great job in the portal, it looks like, defensively. They're always going to score points. Imagine Ole Miss gets in that playoff, like you said. They go 10-2. They get in that playoff, and they've got a number 10 next to their name. And you look up, and you're the lower seed, and you got to play that. You got to play that, and you say that team's coming to our place with that offense. Look out!
And see, the other thing about Ole Miss is this is another year where Pete Golding on defense, and people made fun of them, by the way, because they can't stomp anybody, but their defense is getting better. What Lane did is he has got he couldn't say this a few years ago. He's got an SEC defensive line. And you and I know we've been covering this since the early 90s. If you don't have a defensive line, you can forget
That's what killed him. That's what killed him. They got pushed around his first 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
And Ole Miss historically got pushed around on the line of scrimmage. They never have had a big, stout defensive line.
No.
And he knows that. It's just funny. 2 guys that were spoken negatively in absolutes. Well, I think they can coach. I think they can really coach it. And you know what? They hung around and they proved it. Let's jump over to the ACC. Florida State, 46 days now away from kicking off the college football season with Georgia Tech. And we said something, I don't know how we phrased it a moment ago, but was there some humor? Speaking of the ACC media days now, which are in 2 weeks, and FSU, I've got it somewhere. FSU goes on the 22nd. Miami goes on the 24th of July. So was there some humor in the schedule makers? You mentioned these media days open up pretty much with the same across the board.
Yes.
The commissioner of every conference gets up first in the big print room where the most people can go and gives a state of the conference, right? Sankey will do that. The commissioners do that. That's how these media days start, with a big 45-minute state of the conference and Q&A. Well, Brent, I don't know if you noticed this. When the ACC media days start in 2 weeks,
yes,
day 1, stop number 1, the commissioner comes out and will address the throng of media.
Right.
The first school up after that is FSU. Florida State and the ACC that are right now in a death match, battling each other.
Terry, let me propose this to you.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, could Jim Phillips be going a tad long and won't have time to take questions from the media? Is that possible?
Not enough time. And can you imagine the FSU contingent is looking at, peeking through the door because Mike Norvelle, generally, if you're the first, he'll start in that room.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's kind of how it works. So that's the first thing I noticed. Day 1 ACC media days. Day 1, school 1, right after the commissioner, is FSU. Brent, is that hilarious? And where are we at? We got talking yesterday. Somehow Florida State and their divorce with the ACC came up, and we talked a little bit about it. And you keep pointing out, I think it's August 15th.
It is.
Talk about what you think and what will have to happen, and what we all think is going to happen before toe meets leather with Florida State and the ACC.
Yeah, the Florida State at some point is going to be making a formal announcement that they're leaving the ACC probably after this coming season. Now, the date that Terry and I are talking about is you have got to let the ACC know by August the 15th that this would be your last season, or like when you're going to leave. Now, I don't think they're going to take 2 years to do this. My stars, can you imagine the ridicule when you're on the road having to deal with that for 2 years? But I think what you're going to get, and look, what Terry, the reality is we may not on the 15th, there may be nothing but silence, but that the ACC has let them know.
Yeah.
And then there will be a formal announcement before the beginning of the season. What makes this even more intriguing is that FSU is in the week 0 game in Ireland against Georgia Tech. And I know that's on your agenda to be talking about somewhat this week. So you just got a lot of things going on here. And look, I talked to my FSU source over the weekend. And I mean, look, everything is going along. And I can tell you this, and we've said this before, the team that is really happy about FSU doing what they're doing is Clemson, because FSU and their administration have been very quiet about this move, have they, Terry? And Clemson is very happy that, and look,
Yeah.
they're leaving too,
Yes.
but they're a lot quieter about it. What's also my understanding is the other big team that they're waiting to hear from as far as what direction they're going is North Carolina.
Of course.
So keep your eye on that. But Terry, what is Jim Phillips going to do, the ACC commissioner, when now he's going to have a statement? Now you know good and well that probably he's not going to. And I tell you what he may do. He may say something like, "Okay, guys, I know there's a lot of rumbles out there and rumors and so forth. I'm not going to address this right now because it's all speculation." I'll be curious how he's going to answer that, because you know good and well, Terry, this media is going to ask him every which way they can create.
Yes.
Commissioner, what's going to happen in your conference over the next 1, 2, and 3, 4 years?
And I'm glad you brought up that the conference could kind of say, okay, we're going to twist your arm for 2 years. That's the last thing you want, is FSU spending 2 more years in your conference. And there's a very good chance those 2 years, FSU at midfield gets to hold up the ACC trophy 2 more times. And everybody goes, well, that really doesn't, they're really not an ACC team. You also hit a great point I've been trying to tell people. Of all the years for FSU to be the first game of college football, it's this year. The ACC is going, good Lord, because I'm not saying an extra throng of media is going to go to Dublin, but there'll be an extra throng. Your TV sports anchors will do stories that they wouldn't normally. Your writers, your podcasters, all your media are dying for stories in that August first week, second week, going into that 24th game, August 24th, and 1,000 of them would have never written about FSU and the ACC divorcing if FSU wasn't playing the very first game to kick off college football. It's going to be an advantage.
Right.
Everybody's going to say, go do an FSU ACC story to start greasing the pump. It's college football season. Bad luck, bad timing for the ACC.
Well, and speaking of timing, think about this too. The new stadium. Now, look, they're playing. I was told this too this weekend. They're playing at the limit of 55,000 fans. And after that, they're going to have basically a brand new stadium in a lot of ways in 2025. They open the season with Alabama. And look, you and I both know to open this new stadium being refurbished, they want to be playing a Big Ten schedule.
Yes,
so,
they do.
Terry,
Yes,
imagine having, let's say you've got Alabama that's coming in. We know that for sure. But, if you've got Oregon, USC, Michigan, or Ohio State.
And hey, those games help pay that note off for that stadium.
You better believe they do.
Because they'll be falling. Hey, I've got so many friends that are Seminole fans that, oh, my God, we just got so tired of driving over there to see old Louisville and NC State. Now, real quick, Brent, I'm going to keep you a little bit. I know you got to go. You got an interview at the top of the hour. Florida State football, they didn't ask for this, but I think they are the guinea pig for 2 major situations in college football. We know they're the guinea pig now with the breakup of the ACC. They didn't ask for it, but it had to happen. Everything fell. They're the experiment. They're the guinea pig, and everybody's watching. You know what else they're the experiment of? What you just brought up, the stadium. Florida State's redoing their stadium, and they're decreasing capacity.
They are.
Everybody around needs to watch, because there's a lot of arguing going on. There are ticket holders being moved.
They are.
And they're not happy.
Yes.
There's grumbling. Yes. But you know what? Florida State is doing what the rest of the nation is going to get around to doing. We're in an age now where you would rather sell higher-priced premium seating. You've got to have the amenities. You've got to have space and comfort. And to do that, it's going to happen in Gainesville. Florida Stadium, they're about to put renovations in Gainesville.
They are.
They're not adding seats. They're taking them out.
Yes, they are.
FSU is the experiment also on putting up with a little bit of backlash. Your fan base is not going to be happy, but the world is going to, you better give us comfort, creatures, and amenities.
Oh, yes.
Over 80,000, 90,000,
No doubt.
100,000. Those days are gone. FSU's the guinea pig there as well, I think.
Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And Terry, congrats, my friend.
Yep.
On the new format, and excited about being a part of it with you.
And I know that's
Patrick. It's gonna be exciting.
that's Memphis calling. Don't forget to promote the Young and Norvelle show, Action Sports Jacks. Click on the and download the Action News Jacks app and click on Action Sports
Absolutely.
Jacks. Tremendous stuff. We'll get together soon, and it's almost your time of year, baby. College football is upon us. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. Stay with us. A lot of other topics. I'd like to get you involved through the chat. We're going to throw some stuff out, and I want to hear what you think about some topics. I'll grease the wheel a little bit and get you thinking. That's kind of one of the things we like to do. Get you thinking here on a Tuesday. The Young and Norvelle show, rocking and rolling here on a Tuesday. Back after this. Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnik Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnik never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%. You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnik Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at NimnikBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnik is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnikBuickGMC.com. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage.
I was tempted.
It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Back we are here, hour number 2, kicking off. I want to thank Patrick Young, who was on the first 25 minutes with us here. Of course, my co-host here on the Young and Norvelle show. And then, of course, you just heard Brent Beard. He gave us a couple of segments on college sports, college football, just so much going on. The NFL is days away from rookies will report with the Jaguars on the 19th, I believe it is. About 10 days away or so, and then the rest of the team the 23rd. I heard earlier today Brent Martineau, who you can hear 10 to 1 right here on Action Sports Jacks weekdays, talking to Tyler Lacey, Jaguar defensive lineman Tyler Lacey, kind of peeking in, listening in on that interview. You want to check that out. I think he'll air that tomorrow on Brent and Austin. So check that out between 10 and 1. Jaguars get going, and I'm kind of excited about the balance we've got between midday. Brent and Austin, obviously, they're going to bring you a heavy, heavy dose of Jaguar talk. Inside Jaguar talk, Austin wore the uniform. Brent is immersed in and around the team. Road games, home games, great coverage of the Jags here. And then I think we'll balance it out. Obviously, we will cover the Jags and the NFL, but our show will lean a little more college football, college basketball. Obviously, Patrick Young with his career, 4 years at Florida. He played a couple of years in Europe, and I've even it's kind of a trade-off. I love college basketball, by the way. Just absolutely love it. I think March Madness is our best sporting event in the country by far. I love it. Patrick is I've got him following the sport I played. I played a little college baseball over at JU, and Patrick, he's diving in college baseball, and now with so much coverage, college baseball is so much fun to cover. I've got Patrick as well following. I think if you asked me the entire structure of every sport out there and which sport that I know of translates best to television, it's a sport I've got Patrick paying attention to as well. I love it, is fast pitch softball. College softball is perfect for television. It's a quick game. The field is small and tight. You can see everything. The camera can see everything. It's not like there's a drive 405 feet away and did he catch it, did he not? Everything's tight. It moves fast. So that's kind of the balance I'm excited about here on our the new network, Action Sports Jacks, our sports streaming sports channel here. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Glad to have you. Day number 2 of our afternoon show. Happy hour, 4 to 6. We'll do it Monday through Friday. I hope you join us each and every day you can on any and all of the platforms. We're expanding the platforms every single day. The easiest way to consume, you may be doing it right now, but go ahead and download the Action News Jacks app. When you do that, you will see Action Sports Jacks. Our logo will be right there. Click it on, and you'll go right to the show that is airing. It's just that easy, and then all of your leading social media platforms as well. Okay, open it up to you folks. If you want to get involved with us via the chat, feel free. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat on the side of the screen, and we'll get some of your comments, questions, thoughts as we roll here in the second hour. Bunch of stuff here on the notepad as you can pop. Let me show you here. Bunch of stuff on the notepad. This popped up, didn't make the notepad until I got here and pulled out the notepad. I'm riding around, had some meetings, had some business here and there, made a few stops, and I think I saw this in a couple places. But it might appear that the halftime entertainment for the Super Bowl might be leaked out. Did I see today? Did I hear today that Miley Cyrus? Did I hear that right? Did I dream that? I think I heard that or saw that somewhere midday. I was having lunch and I might have been on my computer. But, they like to do that. And I like to kind of leak it out months before. And Miley Cyrus, not my cup of tea. I mean, I'm not running to the Miley Cyrus concert. And, obviously the demographic you want to hit is not my age group either. I guess I know a couple of her hits. And she was that, I know my daughter when she was young, just we watched every episode of her. She had that TV show, Hannah Montana. Yeah, she was Hannah Montana. Miley Cyrus was Hannah Montana. I guess is she a big enough girl for that? Internationally, I guess she is. But it seems like that is kind of leaking out that your Super Bowl halftime entertainment will be Miley Cyrus. You know me. If you don't know me, you're going to get to know me here on this show. The mind, it never stops. It really never stops. And, blame a private institution of higher learning I like to call the Harvard of the South, maybe, Jacksonville University. Of course, that's where I graduated from. The mind never stops working. So as I think I hear the news today that Miley Cyrus will be the Super Bowl halftime show entertainment, I got thinking, and I don't know if you've thought this through ever, and it's fine, it's not important, but it hit me. Does the Super Bowl halftime entertainment always have to be music? What you talking about, Terry? Have you ever thought about that? So I'm riding down there, I'm going, is it written in some Super Bowl Bible or something? It has to be music, a musical act, a band, a solo performer? I don't know. Well, the spinoff would be, well, okay, Einstein, if not music, what? Is music the only form of entertainment? What about a comedian? 18, 20-minute comedy set. I don't know. I'm just thinking here. Does it always have to be music? What about a juggler? What about a skit? I don't know. I mean, you can always go frisbee dogs. I love frisbee. But seriously, does it? Would a comedian be good? And you say, well, wait a minute. Would a comedian be too brash? Well, I mean, some of the acts that have performed have had some interesting histories to them and some of the individuals, right? But seriously, have you ever thought of that? Does the Super Bowl halftime entertainment always, I mean, for now to the end of time, will it always have to be an individual or a group performing music? I don't know. Just a thought. Let me take a minute here also to, I want to keep kind of giving you an idea of what we do with the show and where it will go, how you can consume it, where you can consume it. We take our show on the road as much as possible. We do our show from location as much as possible. Right now we have 3 locations, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This will all kick in next week. We're going to stay in the studio all week, kind of working out kinks here and trying to, make sure we've got our I's and T's and all that taken care of. But so next week, we'll get back to our locations. Every Wednesday, you will catch our show live at Twin Peaks. If you don't know now where that's at, the intersection of Kernan and Atlantic Boulevard, very, very busy intersection right there in Jacksonville. You'll find Twin Peaks. They're kind of in the Walmart parking lot, plenty of parking there, wonderful food. I've had just about everything on the menu. Wednesday, Twin Peaks, our home. Every Thursday, you can catch our show live now from 4 to 6. There are now happy hour shows from 4 to 6. We will be at Sliders Oyster Bar. If you don't know, you need to know. A very, very famous historic place in Neptune Beach. We'll be there every Thursday. That is our Thursday home. They've been one of our great sponsors for a very, very long time. And Friday, we go down to the other end of the beach. We head down to Jacksonville Beach, and we will broadcast live starting next Friday. Again, we'll get back into the rotation. We will be live at Bricks, Jax Beach. Jason Reynolds and his group have been great supporters of our show. We're there every Friday, talking to a couple of new locations for Monday and Tuesday. But yeah, that's what we do. Patrick and I like to get out, and we love our studio here. It's beautiful. But we're kind of one of those shows that we get out, and we did a lunch radio show. We've converted it into a happy hour streaming show, and that's where you can find us as the week goes on. Some more of the Zach Wilson, Audrey relationship situation. Have you followed this? Had some new news on Zach Wilson, quarterback by way of BYU, by the way. Played at BYU. really has been a bust. A lot of people, my buddy Shane Matthews, who knows quarterbacking as well as anybody, he thought Zach Wilson was going to be a star. Gets in the NFL, and he's been pretty much a bust. Still in the league. Who's with Denver, I think it is. But if you follow the Zach Wilson story, there's a new chapter. That's why I'm not just bringing it out of the air. New chapter here over the last couple of days. The backstory is Zach Wilson, quarterback at BYU. That's where he played his college ball. His teammate and college roommate, Dax Milne, wide receiver. And Milne is currently in the NFL as well. He's a receiver for the Redskins. I don't think he's a top notch, but he's an NFL player. So they were two teammates at BYU, quarterback, wide receiver. Zach Wilson, while at BYU, was still dating his former high school girlfriend, Abby Guile. And Zach Wilson started dating Abby Guile in high school. They stayed together all the way through college. And they broke up. I'll get to the reason a little later. But so as fate would have it, whatever you want to fill in there, Abby Guile starts dating Dax Milne, the former roommate. So they start dating. That can't go over real well, right? So, Abby Guile, a day or two ago on social media, her and Dax Milne have plastered all over Dax Milne and social media, his social media and hers. They're engaged. Now, that's only a couple of days after Zach Wilson and his new girlfriend model, Nicolette Delano, announced they're engaged. You know, girls and women, they don't like that kind of stuff. So this has stirred it all up. Now, you may say, well, Terry, you were going to tell us why. Was there a reason that Zach and his high school, college sweetie girlfriend, why did they break up? Abby Guile, and she's a beautiful girl, all over social media. Why did she break up? And the word is she did the breaking up. And the reason is allegedly, late in their relationship as he was making his way through college, and I'm not sure if it happened in college or early in his NFL career. Allegedly, Zach Wilson, while still the boyfriend of Abby Guile, might have slept with possibly a very good friend of Zach's very own mother. Zach, you can't do that. That's creepy. A friend of your mom. And you were in a relationship there, my man. You just can't do that, Zach. But allegedly he did. So you kind of wonder now who sets the wedding date first, who gets married first. But oh my goodness, you can't tell me that Abby didn't come out with her social media announcement to kind of rain on Zach's parade. Ooh, did I mention BYU? Leave it at that. Brigham Young University. A friend of the mom? Creepy. Let's take a break here as we're getting through the second hour. Got a lot of other topics we want to get to. The NFL's difficulty, and it has been difficult. The NFL, if you gave them truth serum, the NFL, they have not gotten a foothold abroad like they want. It's going slower than they think. I'm going to throw out a couple of reasons. I wonder if these reasons I'm going to throw out are a reason why. We'll talk about that. The NFL's difficulty getting into Europe and getting a stronghold in and around the rest of the world. That's our topic when we come back. The Young and Norvelle Show, cruising through hour number 2 right here on Action Sports Jacks.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2. See that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage.
I was tempted.
It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor,
I was sad.
the meat, the love, the community. Our
To
community.
change you and you will be mine.
Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Hey, kind of speaking out of turn here because it's not my jam all the way, but I know there's a big soccer international tournament going on, and I wanted to announce Spain recently this afternoon defeated France 2-1, so Spain moves on Sunday to the finals. I know we got a lot of people that do care. So Spain, I peeked at a few minutes of that game. It was on in a room I was at getting some work done, and my God, what a great crowd. It was a great crowd. And I hope there was no issues, if you know what I mean, with soccer crowds. But oh my goodness gracious, do they love their soccer. Welcome back to the Young and Norvelle Show. Terry Norvelle here. Feel free to always reach out via X. You see the address down there, the handle, I guess, at Norvelle_Terry. I'm trying to get better on that, at Norvelle_Terry. You can follow our show. Also, we have a show Facebook page, The Young and Norvelle Show. We'll start getting some of our handles and things like that posted, so you can follow us on social media as well. Patrick Young was with us the first half hour. He's in Gainesville at a speaking engagement at the University of Florida. That's very apropos. Patrick will be back with us tomorrow. Brent Beard, want to thank he was with us a long time, and today talking college sports. We'll have Brent on quite a bit. Looking ahead to tomorrow, 5 o'clock, you can have a absolute free doctor's appointment with the best orthopedic surgeon in the area, Dr. Aaron Bates. He joins us every Wednesday. We'll do it about 5 o'clock on Wednesdays. We talk sports medicine, but feel free if you've got an ailment, if you've got something you want us to run by Dr. Bates, we'll do that feature, sponsored, of course, by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. That'll start again tomorrow. We'll get it going about 5 o'clock. Keep Doctor on for about a segment, and we'll talk about the sports injuries of the moment. Hopefully there's not a lot, but unfortunately injuries and sports, they do go together. And Dr. Bates is the best expert to talk about it. And again, it gives you an opportunity. If you've got an ailment, you've got an issue, you can describe it a little bit. We'll be happy to, time permitting, run it by Dr. Bates and get his opinion, and he's done a lot of that. You'll enjoy that segment. I know Patrick and I really learn a lot when we talk to Dr. Aaron Bates. That's tomorrow about 5 o'clock here on the program. Talked about the soccer a moment ago. That kind of segues into the next discussion point I wanted to bring up. The NFL's difficulty getting a deep foothold into Europe. They've tried and they've made headway, but it hasn't gone as smooth or as quick as the NFL probably anticipated. They're still hammering away. It's not over, but it's a tall mountain. It's a tall mountain. Why is that? Why is this humongous American game of American football, it's little gains. And I've got some theories here. And before I give you my theories, I want to throw out, obviously, I know the history of baseball and Abner Doubleday and Cooperstown and an American sport and used to be the American pastime. It's not anymore. We'll get to that. I know the history of basketball. Dr. James Naismith, Springfield, Missouri. I get all that. But any way you cut it, slice it, or dice it right now, America's sport is the NFL. By far, it's not close. Soccer is the sport of the rest of the world and Europe, and that it's beloved. The United States sport of record, and the rest of the world knows it. It's not baseball. It used to be. It's not basketball. It is NFL football. NFL football. With that, the difficulty that the NFL has had and the slow move into and getting footholds into Europe, might it be because a lot of the world has hatred and envy for the United States? And be serious here for a minute. You wonder if a lot of Europe and anti-Americans around the world, the NFL is the American sport. And you wonder if that's kind of the roadblock. There's so much hatred. Oh, the dirty Americans. Oh, the gluttonous Americans. Oh, and from the envy side, my God, look what they've got everything. Look, they've got gold houses and gold toilets, some people think, and gold this and gold that, and abundance of food, and they drive big cars, and they do this and they do that, and you wonder. It makes you wonder. And can that be overcome? Can that be overcome? The hatred and envy, the hatred and envy that a lot of the world has, will they ever pull the veil down enough to accept? Or will that burr always be under the saddle? Always. Because I guarantee you, if we went up to New York City and we got into the NFL headquarter offices where the Goodell and the boys, the big boys that run the league, if we gave them truth serum, we snuck in their boardroom and put some truth serum in the water bucket that's there, water pitcher. You gave them truth serum, they will go, my God, I thought we would be way more advanced across the pond than we are and over into Europe. I guarantee you they didn't think it was going to be this kind of battle. Why is that? Why is that? Is it the hatred? Is it, could it be the envy? Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to dive into a topic I just saw the other day, a day or two ago. Tried to get it on yesterday. I think it happened about a week ago, probably was reported on. I haven't seen it, but have you seen what where the Dodgers, the LA Dodgers, where they're going to as the latest marketing tool? They are going to, or have gone to, what is called like virtual YouTube. A virtual character, a Japanese character. They've gone, and the Japanese character, I can't even pronounce the name, but it's not a person. It's a virtual influencer, if you will, not a human influencer, but a virtual. So it's a character. It's almost like a cartoon, and this character, Japanese, has like 4.5 million subscribers, mainly in Japan, obviously. And what is appealing to the Dodgers, Ohtani. They swear they were going to do this even if Ohtani wasn't on their team, but yeah, okay. 4.5 million subscribers with, what was it? 9 out of 10 of those are male subscribers, and almost all of them are 24 years old or younger. So, I mean, wheelhouse. But interesting, the Dodgers, they are going kind of like the first team to kind of really go that route. Makes sense. Makes sense with Ohtani. It definitely does. All-Star Game is next week. I wanted to get this on as well. If you saw our show preview, we were going to visit with Cade Kistner today. He's a buddy of mine. Used to live here. He has moved a couple 4 years ago to Texas. Cade is the baseball publisher, and he also has taken on a lot of NFL publishing roles with Sports Illustrated. He's very, very versed in Major League Baseball, and I've used him as a part of our show for a long time. We were going to have Cade on today, but he's based out of the Houston area, and the weather was terrible. So we're going to try and get Cade on later this week or even next week with the All-Star Game coming up. A quick peek ahead to baseball talk, and I know we talked to a lot of Braves fans in this area. They're not going to catch the Phillies. Phillies are too good. They're not going to catch the Phillies. The Braves, coming out of the All-Star break, and you've got, 4 or 5 more games, 3-4 games left before the teams will take a break on Monday, play the All-Star Game on Tuesday, be off. Some of them re-traveling on Wednesday and then starting again the following Thursday. I tell you, you look where they're at right now, and yes, their position right now, they would be one of the 3 wildcard teams. But there's not a lot of space. And you're going to have 4 or 5 teams in the running for those 3 spots. Where I'm going with this, those first 15 games or so, 15, maybe 20 games coming out of the All-Star game break are going to be vital for the Braves. It's going to be really, really vital for the Braves. Obviously, the injuries have killed them this year. But injuries are part of baseball. I mean, gosh darn. It was a month ago the Yankees were winning every game. Then they've had the injury bug. The Braves up and down. Schwarber and Harper are banged up right now. When you play 162 games, I mean, the injury bug is at times as big an opponent as the team in the other dugout. I mean, you're going to go through 4 or 5 peaks and valleys with injuries. But those first 15 games coming out of the All-Star break for the Braves, vital. We'll see. Let's take our final break here. A couple other things we want to get to on the other side. We don't really have the time. I wanted to get into a topic about Jerry Jones, Cowboy owner Jerry Jones. We won't have a lot of time. We may carry 1 or 2 of these topics over tomorrow once Patrick is back and reintroduce these topics. But Jerry Jones, has he been a good or a bad franchise owner? And why? What would be your metric? What would be your reasoning if you say good or bad? And what defines a good or bad professional sports franchise owner? What is the definition? Make you think as we break. The Young and Norvelle Show coming back for one final segment. Stay right where you are.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage.
I was tempted.
It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor,
I was sad.
the meat, the love, the community. Our
To
community.
change you and you will be mine.
Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
All right, let's go back to the international portion of our show, as I teased you a little bit with my lack of soccer knowledge, but I know so many people are interested in what's going on in the international world of soccer. I mentioned that earlier today, Spain won today 2-1. They won their match 2-1, and actually they defeated France 2-1. As I'm reading a little bit during the break there, they scored 2 goals in a 5-minute span. Oh, that's going to hurt France. 2 goals in 5 minutes. Spain wins 2-1 in the Euro 2024 tournament that's going on. Very, very big tournament in the world of soccer. So Spain moves on to the final match on Sunday. They will take on the winner of tomorrow's second semifinal match between England and the Netherlands. So there you have it. Little soccer talk, little international talk there. Spain 2-1 winners today over France. And again, I watched a few minutes of that game. I was at a place that had a TV and kind of was peeking up. My goodness, the crowd was incredible. It was a great soccer crowd. So wanted to get that out for our international people. I also want to call an audible. I wanted to get into the what makes a good sports franchise owner. And is Jerry Jones good or bad? We may shelve that for tomorrow, time pending, because I wanted to call a little bit of an audible and get a couple of things out before we get out of here on a Tuesday, the Young and Norvelle show here. Patrick Young will be back on tomorrow. We had him for about 30 minutes via the split screen there as he was in Gainesville. He's speaking to a group. He'll be back tomorrow. Also with Brent Beard, I just did not have time to get out. The NCAA basketball committee, they're meeting again. It seems like the NCAA, all they do is put committees together. They go to resorts and they meet. That's all they do. But the basketball committee is talking about should the March Madness tournament be expanded. The field should not be expanded. They're going to talk about what they should do, if anything, with the field. Should they leave it at 68? Yes. It should have never even got past 64. Should they leave it at 68? They've thrown the number 72, they've thrown the number 74, and they've thrown the number 76. No. Leave it where it's at. As a matter of fact, in terms of non-expansion as a topic in general, and or just staying where you're at, the studies that have been done, they've done surveys and things. This is a topic that most surveys say do not expand. They've done some surveys out there. We're talking to some, I guess, learned, what they think is learned basketball fans, college basketball fans. Most people, I'm there, I don't expand. I think it would just be watered down more. And you can't, you damn sure don't want to expand the length of time it takes to get March Madness played. Right now, I said it early in the show, maybe the first segment. March Madness, in my opinion, is the best sporting event in our country by a mile. It's the best sporting event. I love it. You love it. Most people love it. Great sporting event. It captivates our country for 3 weeks. That's enough. You know, if you expand it and have to make it a longer tournament, as much as we love March Madness, it's basically 3 weekends. The final weekend, Saturday, the Final Four, and I'll call that Monday, the end of the weekend, the championship game. By the time that third weekend comes around, March Madness needs to come to an end. It doesn't need to go any further. I hope cooler heads prevail and they don't just there's also talk that the almighty dollar, there might not be any more real money, even though they're at a few games. There'll be such trash games that money may not be the deciding factor, which it always is. I may shelve Jerry Jones. We'll see if we've got enough time to get into that topic, but I wanted to throw this out. Actually, it was on the top of my show prep page here, but I just haven't gotten to it. Back to the world of Major League Baseball. The biggest story in baseball the first half has been Paul Skeens. No doubt. Paul Skeens, the 100-mile-an-hour fastball guy, almost straight from, just like Wyatt Langford, almost straight from the college game to the big leagues. A quick cup of coffee in the minors for Paul Skeens, just like Wyatt Langford, the former Gator. But Skeens was a star at LSU. They won a national title. He was the ace pitcher. Why and have we ever seen an athlete have so much pre-injury, and listen how I say this, so much pre-injury gloom and doom that we're seeing around Paul Skeens? There is a huge faction of sports fan, and I don't know why this is, that the millisecond Paul Skeens' name comes up, oh, he's going to blow his arm out. Oh, he's going to be injured soon. Oh, he's not going to have a long career. Why? Why him? And he's got a 100-mile-an-hour plus fastball. I get it, but we've had other athletes that have, I mean, Tiger Woods in his youth and his prime, he swung out of his shoes. His swing, he almost jumped out of his shoes. over and over again. And you say, well, wait a minute, Tiger broke down well into his career. He had already won 1 million tournaments, a bunch of majors, dominated for year after year. And a lot of Tiger's health issues were not derived on the course. But why, when we saw 21-year-old Tiger Woods absolutely ripping into a golf ball, I don't remember anybody going, well, you know, he's only going to make it till about 22, 23. That bat can't hold up. He can't hold up. I don't remember that. Speaking of grip it and rip it, the guy that made money off that, John Daly. Did anybody swing harder over and over than John Daly? I never remember anybody saying, well, you know, this Daly guy, man, he's got about 2 years. He's done. It's gloom and doom. And you look around at different sports. I don't know if you guys, you got to be of the age to remember Gary Sheffield. Pretty good baseball player. Really good baseball. Not quite Hall of Fame guy, but really good. Nobody would swing harder than Gary. He never got cheated. Nobody said, hey, you can't do that many years in a row. Gary Sheffield's only be around a year or two. I don't remember gloom and doom. Why does Paul Skeens have... Now, Paul Skeens, knock on wood, I hope he never gets hurt. I love watching him. He could blow his elbow out. He could be Mr. Tommy John. He could be Mr. Double Tommy John. He could. But why all of the pre-injury gloom and doom? There are so many people, they cannot hear the name Paul Skeens without, oh, he ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it long. Short career guy. Hell, how about a football player right here in our area? And he got a little bit of this talk, Derrick Henry. Man, he runs, he's such a power runner, and he runs straight up and down. But, you know, there was a little talk about Derrick Henry, his style, but not to the extent, well, Derrick Henry's he's playing 1 year, maybe, if he's lucky, 2 years if he's really lucky, because of the way he plays physical, the physical way he plays. Paul Skeens, it's gloom and doom. There are people out there that think he is on borrowed time right now. I don't know. just thought it was interesting, or think it is interesting. The National League, they have to start him, don't they? Don't you start Paul Skeens? You've got to start him in the All-Star game. Boy, baseball. We were going to get into a lot of baseball with Cade Kistner. We'll try and catch up with him later, our MLB guy. But, man, at least the last year and a half, Major League Baseball, they have hit some home runs. And I don't mean over the park, out of the park. Major League Baseball, the youth movement, the marketability, just the storylines, the rules changes that mostly have worked. Boy, baseball has hit a home run. They have hit a home run. And you talk about particularly our big three, baseball, football, basketball in our country. Baseball, just from a get out of your own way. Why aren't you marketing? Why aren't you marketing right standpoint? Baseball, God, there was a 15 to 20 year, at least 15 to 20 years where Major League Baseball just muddled around, and they didn't seem to have the right marketing. They didn't seem to understand who they should be marketing to. Man, they've hit some home runs. They have hit some home runs. Now, it helps when you've got young, flashy, good-looking players that are living up to their... I mean, these guys that have come up, Paul Skeens, he got to the big leagues quick, but he's had to perform. If he got shelled, okay. Wyatt Langford started a little slow, but he's a fourth pick in the draft. He got to the bigs quick, and he performed. Look at the shortstops. Look at the shortstops that are, 23 and under. And shortstop is that sexy position. The shortstop is the sexy position. In baseball, you generally put your best athlete there. I mean, there's some cases all glove, no bat, but shortstop, particularly the modern shortstop, when we hit the age of your shortstop, it's okay to be over 6 foot. For a long time, your middle infielders had to be your quick little pepper pot guys, and they hit for average, and they were single double guys. Particularly when the shortstop position evolved, where it's okay if you're a big guy, you can hit the ball, and you can hit home runs. Gunnar Henderson and guys like that. But boy, baseball, they I don't know if they've changed marketing companies the last several years. Whatever they've done it right. It's really, really the game has just grown exponentially. Great first half on top of last year's entire season. We talked about individuals that have helped baseball this first half. I think the Yankees, we talked yesterday a little bit, the Yankees being good again. Baseball needs the Yankees. I think the New York Yankees make baseball better. And what a fun little dichotomy that's going on. You've got the Yankees and the Orioles battling it out, and the Orioles are that young. Do they know any better? Yankees, the veterans and the sluggers and the guys, Judge and Stanton and those guys. I know Stanton's banged up, but most of their guys, Garrett Cole's been in the league a long time. There's a real good battle going on. It's youth versus, the big bad Yankees and the upstart young guys. There's a lot of that going on. You look at the Phillies, they're kind of the Yankees in the National League. They've got some of the grizzled veterans. The Braves obviously had injury issues. And then the Dodgers. I think it's important. I think it's important that the Dodgers are good in Major League Baseball. Not to the total extent of the Yankees. It's still the Yankees won and then everybody below. But the Dodgers obviously were an East Coast team. But it's important, I think, that East Coast, West Coast thing. There's something to that. I think there's something to that. You want your dominant East Coast team is the Yankees. And your dominant team in Major League Baseball. Your dominant franchise. Your dominant newsmaker. Oh, yeah, well, what did the Yankees do? Oh, yeah, are the Yankees any good? You can translate that to the West Coast. The Dodgers are that team. San Diego can flare up, and, these teams can flare up. The Dodgers are the West Coast Yankees. I mean, they came. The Dodgers, so many storylines. Really helped baseball. Baseball has had one heck of a first half on top of last year's entire season. I thought, good baseball season. That'll wrap it up here. We got a few more minutes. Let me set up some stuff that we're going to do as the week goes on. I'm going to go ahead and shelve the Jerry Jones, but let me tease it a little bit. This topic made my sheet today because this morning I ran across one of those, who are the wealthiest owners in the NFL, and you go through the list and blah, 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 blah. You can go through it and see them. They all are filthy rich. And I saw Jerry Jones, and I got wondering. He's so polarizing. People love Jerry Jones or hate Jerry Jones. They've got opinions on Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, if you had to say, has he been a good owner of the Cowboys or a bad owner? What determines that? What determines if you're a good owner or a bad owner? What are your charges, if you will? What are you charged with? Is it the same? Are there different metrics? Jerry Jones, I would say if you own a professional franchise, let's just say an NFL franchise, are you charged with being competitive, putting a competitive team on the field? Are you charged with putting a competitive team and an entertaining product out there? How about amenities? Your beautiful stadium, the things that your fans experience, the amenities. So competitive, entertaining, amenities. What about making money? I would think that a lot of those things I just threw out, or all of them, are kind of the determining factors. Well, with all of those, wouldn't you say Jerry Jones is a great owner? Have they won Super Bowls in the last 30 years? No. But a lot of franchises haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. They've been damn competitive. I did a little study, and we don't have time to get deep into it, but I just kind of went, the Jaguars are in their 30th year, just kind of using 30, the Jaguars, as a barometer. You go back to the 95 season, the Jaguars in 30 years have had 7 playoff appearances, no Super Bowls, and that's no crime. I mean, it's hard to win a Super Bowl. The same time frame, Cowboys have had 14 playoff appearances. No Super Bowls, but again, a lot of franchises don't win Super Bowls. With that said, just using Jacksonville and Shad Khan and or Wayne Weaver, because it's about a split right there. Khan's in year 12 or 13. They've been around 29, 30 years. Would you say Jerry Jones is a better or worse owner than Shad Khan? And if you say worse, what's your metric? Jerry Jones has made a lot of money with and for the Cowboys. Cowboys have been very competitive. They've damn sure been entertaining. They damn sure have amenities. He's provided amenities to his fan base. Now, Jerry Jones does it different. Most owners, but I'm not saying this is the way it has to be, but most owners are not the face of their franchise. I'll agree with you that. Jerry Jones does it different. He is the face of the franchise. He does talk to the media for and about his franchise. He is quotable. He finds cameras. I will say this. Just because it's different, the way he markets his team and is a mouthpiece for his team, just because it's different than the way owners have done it in the past, does that mean it's wrong? And has he not been successful? Again, you tell me, what are your determining factors of success? If you said the Jaguars have been incredibly competitive, incredibly entertaining, they've got wonderful amenities, the stadium, the things, the experience, and everybody's made money in and around the franchise, I think that's pretty successful. Are there any other things? Just because he's in front of the camera a lot, does that mean he's a bad owner? And again, don't say, well, they won some Super Bowls. Well, don't forget they won some Super Bowls after he took over a terrible franchise at the time. And it's just, this is just a thought process on how would you judge Jerry Jones? How would you judge him? Interesting. And what are the parameters? Competitive, entertaining, amenities. And I think, Cowboys went to Super Bowl II, or at least one in that 14-year run. They've gone to the playoffs 14 times. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. It really is. It really is. Anyway, we may carry that on tomorrow. We'll get back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Remember now, we have really launched this streaming sports channel here on Action Sports Jax. We're very proud. We've got you programming 6A to 6P. You definitely want to follow Brent and Austin, our midday show. Wonderful show. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane. You know those guys. They've been doing it a long time as well. 10 to 1 right there in the middle of the day. We're here every afternoon. We've turned our show, me and Patrick Young, we've turned our show into a happy hour show. We'll be on the road a lot starting next week. We hope you come out and see us on the road. We're here every weekday, from 4 to 6. Tomorrow, Patrick Young will be back. We'll also visit with Dr. Aaron Bates about 5 o'clock. If you've got any orthopedic-type questions, bumps, bruises, things like that, he obviously is one of, if not the leading orthopedic surgeon in our area. We've had Dr. Bates on our show basically the entire time we've had our show. We have him on Wednesdays about 5 o'clock. We'll talk sports injuries in the world of sports, if there are any major ones. We hope there are not, but there always are. And feel free. You can take advantage of Dr. Bates if you've got an ankle, a knee, a shoulder. You're not positive what it is. Maybe Dr. Bates can give you some insight and get you on the right path there to healing. I'll wrap this up by saying I don't know if I was corroborated, but I've heard that Miley Cyrus is the Super Bowl entertainment chosen for the upcoming Super Bowl at the end of this coming season. We'll see if we can corroborate that as we go. A lot of college talk coming up in the next several days. SEC Media Days starts this coming Monday. The ACC the week after. We'll cover that with you as we go. A lot of stuff coming up as it is football season. We talked yesterday. When the weather gets hot and muggy like it is, we start thinking, okay, we're getting close. Summertime, we're getting close to football. It really doesn't feel like that until you pass the 4th of July. You can't lie. We've passed the 4th of July. It feels like football season, and it's right around the corner. That'll just about wrap it up. Again, thank you very much for figuring us out, for finding us. We appreciate you. Please help us spread the word as we grow the show. Send out tweets and share different things that we send out for our show and our entire sports streaming network here, Action Sports Jacks. Make sure you download the Action News Jacks app, and you will see Action Sports Jacks right there. Click on and check out our show. That'll wrap it up. We'll get back together tomorrow, 4 o'clock, right here for the Young and Norvelle Show. For Patrick Young in Gainesville, I'm Terry Norvelle. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.